Hey, deserving listeners, Darcey and Stacey. Let's see what happens.
Let's do it big, guys. Right?
Yeah.
Ready to party?
All right.
So they're having a bachelorette party in New York City, and Florian and Georgi and Michael are there. So I don't know. People can do what they want, but I wouldn't necessarily call this a bachelorette party. I'd just call it a party, a pre-wedding party. Like this would be like they have those. I don't know. They can call it what they want to.
Ready for the party?
Wow, bring some
Wow,
champagne.
baby.
It's your party.
But the other thing is why is Georgi there? Did I miss something? Because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of conflict about Georgi being around. And the last we left off, Darcey had explicitly and very adamantly said, "You're not. We're never going to get back together." And I don't know. Maybe Georgi will be cool. Maybe they've convinced everyone that Georgi's going to be cool. Does this mean that Georgi's still? No. Florian said, "You're not the best man. That's over."
Partying already, huh?
Oh, yeah. Baby.
Yeah.
You look handsome.
Love it.
Hey, Darcey, how are you? You doing good?
I'm good. I'm not a pet. I'm good.
Yeah, I just don't. Like, what is going on? Georgi, why is he there, one? And two, why would you reach out and try to touch someone when you've had so many bad interactions along these lines? If anything, you would just be like, "Hey, Darcey, sorry that I'm here. I'm totally giving you your space. You don't have to interact with me. But if you want to, I'm available. But I'm not going to bug you. We'll just be hanging out." But instead, he leans in again, tries to touch her. What?
So you look good too.
Typical Georgi. Of course, he's hitting on me. He's complimenting me. I'm just going to stay cool and just do me and focus on what's the most important, which is my sister. Oh, boy.
So this is your bachelorette party. They were talking about this for a while, about how epic and how awesome it's going to be. They even said what happens in New York City stays in New York City. And not only do you invite Florian, but also Georgi and Michael. I mean, I guess Michael Benz, they kind of consider him to be like a replacement brother for them. So I guess it makes sense that Michael would be there. But Georgi and Florian, it just really puts a damper on the, yeah.
All right, well.
So what's the first move? Party planner.
Party bus, guys. Get ready.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Who is this idea to bring the bus?
It was my idea because I'm the best maid of honor in the world.
Yeah, man.
You're in America. American bachelorette party. This is how we do it.
I don't know, for the bus. More like for kids party bus.
Yeah, I don't understand why did Stacey, presumably Stacey invited Florian, or did Florian force himself on the situation? I don't know.
Hard work to making this fabulous. So enjoy it. It's going to be
You're right,
amazing.
Darcey. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you guys for coming. Let's just all have a good time.
All right, let's go, guys. Okay?
Okay, listen, I don't want to have hard time. I just
worry
want
about it.
everybody to have fun. Yeah?
We're gonna have fun.
Don't worry
We're gonna
about
have
it,
fun.
okay?
Everyone's having fun here.
What is wrong with Georgi? Was he always like this and we just never saw it? Is he doing it for the cameras? Is he like this when he wants someone back in his life? It's like this extremely awkward, pushy, creepy side of himself like emerges. And he was never like this before. At least we didn't see it in Maya. I mean, were the signs, tell me, were the signs there? Because it's not only just pushy and awkward and you could argue creepy, but it's just so out of nowhere. I mean, it's like it's like he doesn't pick up on social cues. Like obvious, not even just cues, but social statements, facts that are being told to him. Physically just trying to, it's really weird.
All right, let's go, guys. Okay?
Okay, listen, I don't want to have hard time. I just
worry
want
about it.
everybody to have fun.
Don't worry
We're gonna
about
have
it.
fun.
Don't worry
We're gonna
about
have
it,
fun.
okay?
Everyone's having fun here. Just
Talking about.
you don't need to be so aggressive.
Just chill. Go to the bus, man. That shit
Yeah, that was the one moment where Michael Benz was actually doing really good work there. Not only was he doing what he should be doing as a friend to Darcey, but also he was trying to help Georgi. He was just like, hey, we're just here to have fun. Like, just chill. Like, let's just have some fun. You don't have to be so pushy and ruin everything. And now, so I'm siding with Michael Benz on this issue, which tells you just how odd and problematic Georgi's behavior is.
chill. Your problem. This guy with blue hair come and ruin all the fun. I mean, it's not his business. If I want to talk with Darcey, like he come and talk to me like that, that's disrespectful.
You know, this
Georgi, you weren't trying to talk to Darcey. You were trying to invade her space twice. And
is supposed to be for Stacey and Florian, for all of us to have a good time. Something that Stacey's waited her whole life for.
I know.
I'm not gonna let anyone ruin it.
I got your back. You already know that.
Thanks.
Deep breath. I got eyes on him.
Yeah.
Ready to party?
Everyone,
You guys ready?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Follow your minimum.
and if you're Georgi and Florian, I just don't understand why Georgi is there. There's just zero. This is presumably Stacey's bachelorette party, and I guess the premise is just like, well, if Florian's going to go, he's going to bring his. I don't know. I don't understand any of this. I don't. Georgi, just go home. I remember Ben, just go home. Georgi, just go home.
Yeah. Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh. Hey. Stacey coming out. Oh. Get that. Party started.
Hey, relax, bro.
Yeah. It's bumpy.
wow.
It's bumpy.
Wow, bro.
Oh.
Behave.
Sorry, Steve.
Behave.
I don't understand. Like, why is he doing this? It's so awkward to watch. Now, I guess there's a possibility that he has reasons to believe that Darcey wants him to do this or something. I don't know. It's so hard to watch.
Jeez. It's your bachelorette party.
Yeah. I don't know why he's acting like this right now. I mean, he really wasn't like this before. So why does it have to happen on the most fun night we're supposed to have?
Do you think it was a mistake to invite Florian? I don't know.
Do you think it was a mistake to invite Florian? I mean, I don't. Maybe Stacey doesn't want to do a bunch of things and is using Florian as an excuse. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a lot of reasons why a bachelorette party would be disastrous, and I just didn't think it would be that Florian and Georgi would be there. I mean, I was pretty sure something wonky was going to happen, but it just seems like it's dead before it begins.
He knows all about the past that I've had with Georgi. So I think he's trying to protect me so nothing bad happens. And I'm grateful for that because I just want to make this the best bachelorette party for Stacey and Florian. That's all that matters to me.
Okay, we're here. Let's, keep it cool. She's single, ready to have fun. You do you. We're all gonna have fun. Let's go. We're here, guys.
And I hate to say it, but if Michael Benz was not there, this event would have no life and no optimism. Like, I feel like because Michael's there, it's maybe the only reason why this isn't a total disaster. I mean, you could argue it's a pretty big disaster, but if he's keeping it light. He's very nicely telling Georgi to just refrain and yeah.
We don't talk to women like this. You're not supposed to touch a woman with a feather. That's what they say. So whatever's going on with you guys, you can communicate about this later. Now is the time to rejoice and have fun, y'all.
Exactly.
I did not fly all the way out here
I know.
to see both of you guys argue, right?
We're all here to have a good time.
Yes.
We just need to let all that crazy animosity go. Just let it all go.
So this does raise a topic that comes up a lot in these reality TV shows, that before we do things that are out of the ordinary that could be triggering to our partner, we should have conversations about it. Presumably you only have one bachelorette party with one person, meaning that this will be the one bachelorette party in which Stacey is with Florian. Maybe they don't last forever and Stacey will have another bachelorette party down the line, but at the very least, it's your one time to have that. And you probably should have a conversation of, here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And as an ancillary thing here, some bachelorette party planners and bachelor party planners, they will, without getting consent from the individual getting married, will take them on a journey that the person getting married doesn't want to do because they're trolling or they think the person, like a classic example of this is the groom will say, look, I don't want to go to a strip club. It's just not really my thing. Plus, I don't want to hurt my wife's feelings. So let's not go to a strip club. Or let's just not get any strippers. Let's get drunk as hell. Let's play cards. Let's get rambunctious. Let's, shoplift. But let's not involve ourselves with any, and certainly no sex workers. That's just because some parties will involve that too. As long as everyone's consenting, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but including the sex worker. Right? So you should have conversations about it beforehand. And the person planning also doesn't have full license to just, because I feel like for some people in some cultural pockets, it's like you have to have this sort of experience at a bachelor or a bachelorette party. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can do whatever you want. And of course, you don't want to ruin relationships. You don't want to harm anyone. What's the purpose of that? So it's important to have conversations. It appears that Florian and Stacey did not have a conversation prior. It almost appears that Florian forced himself on the situation because he was concerned that something would happen that would irk him. And that's okay. He's allowed to have his irks. You would just think that they would talk about it beforehand. I think Stacey actually respects Florian's culture and his religion and his ways of doing these kinds of things, his wishes, but you would just think that they would iron that out well beforehand. And I've seen this a lot where people, they don't have those conversations and they don't have those agreements and they just head into the void and then things will happen. And one person is like, well, I thought you knew that was going to happen, or I didn't know that was going to happen. The best man did all that stuff. And the partner's like, well, why didn't you push back? I don't understand. Now, sometimes it's fine. And you don't, if you don't have those kinds of triggers or you don't think that your partner does, then maybe it doesn't require that. But this obviously is more important for a lot of other circumstances that are much more common. Like, well, really, even a mundane one is, say that you're going to your partner's family home, you're going to the in-laws, and say it's Thanksgiving, and, well, I'll just use myself as an example. Say that we're going to my wife's family for Thanksgiving, and maybe I don't want to stay forever. She might want to stay forever, but I'm just like, yeah, I think I don't want to be there for 10 hours. I'd rather only be there for about 3 or 4. I want to be there, but I don't want to be there all day long, or I don't know. So we would have a conversation beforehand, and I would broach the topic, and we would agree on something. We would try to see eye to eye instead of just figuring that things will happen or that the other person will just automatically do whatever you want to in the moment. It's just important to have those conversations and to listen to each other, to be nice to each other, to accommodate for that. Now, sometimes some people are too demanding, and we obviously don't want to be bulldozed into doing other things, but there just seems to be very little of that proactive conversation on this show. I don't know if they do that on purpose or they just don't know to do it, or they're avoiding it. I'm guessing that's what it was, is that Stacey is avoiding having that conversation with Florian because she knows that it won't go very well. So she just sort of, hoped for the best, and it turns out the worst is happening. Hey, deserving listeners, today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes in life, we are faced with tough choices, and the path forward isn't always clear. And some of you might even be facing a tough choice right now. Well, for me, I like to fully explore all the options. That usually helps me to feel more confident moving forward. And sometimes it really helps to talk with someone and get their perspective and maybe their wisdom. And of course, therapy can help with this. I never planned on specializing in this area when I started out as a therapist, but over time, a lot of clients have come to me when they are facing tough choices that they're having a hard time figuring out what to do. Well, one option worth exploring is BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, it's worth giving a try. It's entirely online, it's designed to be convenient and suited to your schedule, and also you can switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. So, let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Kirk today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kirk.
Shift the energy, change the aura, and breathe out all the junk. Yeah,
Release
get it out. Yeah.
Now, yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking a deep breath, trying to center yourself, trying to differentiate, trying to calm down the nerves. Absolutely. But if you keep creating problems and having no way of getting out of it, there's no amount of breathing that's going to solve that problem.
Can you drink? Can you get your drink, guys? What are you drinking?
I already have one
I'll
right here.
get your drink.
No, I'm good. All right, anyway,
being rude,
so
but,
keep looking. 'Cause I know what I like.
Who you texting? Who is that?
I'll have to DM. I'll DM. I'll DM.
Who you texting? Who is that?
What are you talking to me like?
Yeah. Georgi just needs to go home. And Michael is about to confront him. And I hope that Michael is cool about it. If I were Michael, I would go to Darcey. I would say, what do you want to do about Georgi? I'm guessing that Darcey would say, I wish that he would go home. And then if I were Michael, I'd go up to Georgi and be like, hey, I get it, but Darcey doesn't want you here. And I don't think Stacey does either. It's great that you came to support, but you're really not in a situation that is good for anybody, including you. I'm not going to threaten you. Just as a human to human, I'm just recommending that you might want to go, because he's also drinking. It's interesting. I think a lot of them are. Of course, that's what you do often in these situations. But I don't know if I'd seen Darcey and Stacey, and especially Georgi, seemingly intoxicated. So this could become volatile. But I'm guessing Michael Benz is going to do something problematic.
That for
Your new boyfriend or something?
Excuse me?
Hey. She's single. She's not with you.
So what?
Let her live her life.
Yeah, that's a good opener. It's to the point and convincing. And apparently Georgi didn't learn, or Florian. It seems like no one learned, because we're right back to where we were the last time that Georgi and Darcey were together. And I'll tell you, if Darcey and Georgi end up back together, which I would think that's absurd, but if they end up back together, that sets a really poor example for the world. Now, I would hope that no one would consider Darcey and Stacey to be role models, especially Darcey when it comes to dating, but I'm just saying it presents a really awful example for people to follow, potentially, of one, if you're a guy and you're trying to get your former partner back, you just insert yourself aggressively, physically, without anyone's consent into the situation, and eventually she'll give in because she doesn't know what else to do. And then if you're watching Darcey and following in her behavior, it's like, well, that's evidence of love. That's evidence of someone that really wants to be with you, is someone who just, without asking for your consent, without respecting your boundaries, just continues to bulldoze and try to get with you. And this is a known phenomenon that some people will suffer from, this conflation of these two things, of someone that clearly really is obsessed with me and really wants to be with me and won't take no for an answer. A lot of the rom-coms will have this as the climax of the movie, where think of one of the best movies that's ever been made, The Graduate. Dustin Hoffman's character shows up at the wedding as the wedding is happening, and he's banging on the window and saying, "Come with me," and then she goes with him. Now, at the very end, their smile turns to a frown. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot scene. The whole movie is just a masterpiece in a lot of ways. There's obviously some problems. It was, I think, made in the 60s. So it's in the rom-coms, and it's a known cultural message that's given to people. The Say Anything with the boombox. If you look at that from the movie's perspective, that's romantic. It's wonderful that John Cusack did that. But you look at it from another angle, and he's being a creep. He's forcing himself into someone's yard, like he's stalking this person that doesn't want to be with him. And so he's doing that. And so if Darcey and Georgi get back together, it's really gonna, because normally I'd be like, and I have been in the past, of, well, if they just went to therapy, maybe it'd work out. I don't know. Maybe if Darcey felt actually secure, there would be less triggering or something. But if they get back together, like that'll be really hard to watch. And two, it will, no matter what happens between the two of them, all of this will be hanging over at least my head as I watch.
I care about her. Let me tell you something.
You can care about somebody.
I care about her, and I want to protect her because
you don't need to protect her.
With someone else,
you don't need to protect her.
Yeah, that's just a classic abusive stalker sort of statement that people will make, particularly men. They will say things like that of not only am I the only person that is good for her, but I have the right, regardless of her consent, regardless of everything, regardless of all the evidence to the contrary, it's my job to do this. It could be a self-delusion, it could be a delusion, it could be their way of seeing things, I don't know, but yeah, yikes.
You don't need to protect her.
She don't know what she's doing. Don't be like this in my face.
You don't need to protect her.
Chill.
All right?
Don't be like this in my face. Just
you don't need to protect
touch my...
Listen.
Yeah, I think he's intoxicated. It's also possible that Georgi is hurting pretty badly, which also raises the risk of not only drinking too much, but also emotional volatility. And if I were Michael, I'd just be, hey, I don't want to get into a thing with you physically. That's not why I'm here. I'm just trying to help everyone. I'm not only trying to help Darcey, I'm trying to help you. Yeah, that's all you have to say. But of course, Michael takes it to this level. We're not going to see actual violence or beyond this, are we?
You don't need to protect her.
Wow, I did not. We usually see a lot of posturing. We don't usually see, there was no punches, and I'm guessing that for Michael, he's not actually harmed that much because, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's pretty awful.
Stop it!
Right.
Yeah, this looks real-ish because of the way Stacey seems to be having a legit human reaction. And the fact that they're getting the cameras, like when we saw Andre and Charlie get into a fight, it had a similar truthfulness to the reactivity and the fact that the crew was suddenly in the camera. So, yikes.
Big bro!
Get him out! Get him out! To Olivia, my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest. Oh my god.
Take
oh
a
my
deep
god.
breath,
Oh my god.
baby. I love you.
Everybody.
Okay.
This is effed up. Big time. I'm like on a level I can't even imagine. And we're in New York City. The city that doesn't sleep!
What does that have to do with it? What's he saying? And I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe that happened. We're in New York City. Are they saying, is she saying that like these things don't usually happen in New York City? Or I don't, she seems intoxicated. So maybe not every neuron is working properly.
How did this happen? I feel like
how did it happen? I think we saw the signs. We saw Georgi act before. Florian invited him, and there was no conversation as to if Georgi had actually changed. There's no reason to believe that. I guess I would have thought Georgi would have changed, but there was a lot of indication that for Georgi, this might be the only way out of this situation was what happened.
What happened with him? Like he's drunky?
He got my face.
I
like
know
he
it.
talking
I know everybody drunky. I know that everybody drunky. You understand my point?
Even like even I don't touch him. Fall on the ground like a little dog, like chihuahua, like I don't like he come to my face all the time and be angry, pushing me. Oh,
Yeah, Michael and Georgi have a history, so I get that Georgi doesn't like him and that he doesn't want to listen to him, but for several moments up until the hands-on, I don't know who began that, Michael was a little close. If I were there, I'd be like, Michael, just, say your piece, maybe give him some breathing room. At the very least, don't lean in to his personal space. But I think Georgi is 100% to blame for all this. I think Michael did a lot to try to help. So, but it makes sense that Georgi would have history with Michael and would maybe see Michael's behavior through a certain lens, and that would be justified. I mean, Michael has exhibited some extremely, I don't know what to say, just weirdly, bizarrely combative behavior with both of these guys. So, I get that, but I just don't understand, where's Georgi's head? Was Georgi always like this? Has he lost his mind? Is it for the cameras? Is something else going on that we don't understand? I just don't understand. It just doesn't match with his behavior.
Something like face. Like,
Hey, hello.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Not cool. Not cool at all.
Everything is good. Don't worry about it. Everything is good.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop sugarcoating everything, Florian. It's not okay.
Everything is fine. Like, even
Why
Michael
are you
Bay.
talking for him and her?
No, but like Michael,
Zip your
If I were there, I would just say, hey, how about everyone just go home and think about it tomorrow? I think at least most of them, if not all of them, are intoxicated, which compromises their ability to think straight and act straight. And also, there's no reason why you would believe that they would be able to work this out verbally. Maybe Florian, if you got him away from Georgi, there would be some reasonableness there, because we've seen that from Florian this season. But trying to reason with Georgi and with Florian, I just can't see this working.
I do nothing, like even barely touch him, like.
He's promised me he's not touch him hard. It's like falling off basically for no
This is
reason.
I mean, if you
ridiculous.
come in my
This is
face and like,
insane.
he's pushing me like that.
Oh my
Understand my
MG.
point?
Florian,
How dare you
if you
go?
want a wedding, you can come with us.
Yeah,
If
come.
not, you can stay with Georgie.
No, I
Your
Georgie,
choice.
come in. Come, Georgie.
Let's go.
Come, Georgie.
Let's
Come. Georgie.
What? Okay, so at first I'm like, okay, Florian and the rest of them just go home. Georgi, go home. But now Florian's insisting that Georgi. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do. Just go home.